Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com and greetings again from this beautiful Himalayan valley. I'm still in Satopant. This is my 5th day now over here. Still nobody around. It's very peaceful and very quiet, and I feel that my whole energy is really merging with the mountains and the environment. I feel like, in the beginning it's a little bit a new environment. Now I really feel at home. It's like I went yesterday for a 3 hour trek up the valley to the highest spot there, the gateway to heaven, and I am, really kind of feeling like I'm merging with the forces of nature. I'm having some breakfast right now. I want to show you a little bit. This is some dry energy mix that I made before coming here. I prepared about 2 kilos of it, and it contains flour, raisins, cashews, coconut, some salt, another energy mix powder that I found from an Ayurvedic store, and in that case I added some cabbage cut in small pieces. So I had about 2 kilos of it. 1 kilo keeps me going for about 4 days, and then I mix it with some Chawanprash, which is an Ayurvedic supplement which contains lots of good stuff, and a couple of other things. I mix it with a little bit of water, and I have a little bit of vinegar, something like that sounds a little bit like a dressing, and I have that for breakfast, and this keeps me really strong. I am having very small meals, about 3 times a day, and it really matches the, this kind of environment. The cabbage is the only thing that I would say it's perishable. Maybe after 10 days of having that in the mix, maybe it starts, going bad. But I would say you can probably last and still be eatable after maybe 20 days. For the dry mix, it's a totally different story. Cashews, raisins, flour, all that. I think you can probably keep it like for 3 months easily without it going bad. So if you are trekking and need some food for your trek, this is something that works really well. These beautiful, blissful mountains. This is still Nilakanta, the blue-throated one, which is a name for Shiva. And this is the sacred Satopant Lake, or the true way, or the true source, as it's called. I want to tell you about something that is happening, and with this merging with nature. And right now I start perceiving messages or signs in nature, and of course you might say that's the source of my own imagination, or it might be the way the environmental forces communicate with us. There have been quite a few of those. The first one was when I was down in the first trek like 7 days ago. One day I went up the valley, and when I came down, the river was brown, raging, like there was some flash flood coming from the glacier probably, and it really felt like the river was in a certain mood, which was fiery, excited, or maybe angry. It's as if the river was having a tantrum, and it really felt, it was invading other aspects, other parts of the valley, because it was overflowing, and yeah, it felt like the river was having a tantrum. It was a mood. That was one of the signs. Another sign, I was next to the river over there, which is not a real river. It's just water flowing over some snow, and it's the melting snow. And I was looking for a place to get some water, and I was sitting there on a rock and looking at the water streaming in a small stream, and thinking that I needed to fill my water bottles, but Um, it's easier to do it when there is a small waterfall, right? Because then you can just put the bottle under the water rather than putting it in the stream and it doesn't fill up really well. So I was there just thinking about that, and not kidding, within a couple of minutes, the river changed stream, made like a 90 degrees angle, went straight to me. You know, it's not a big river. It was like a stream about that size, not big. It changed stream because probably it found an obstacle or an easy way to run, and came in my direction, and it created a waterfall right in front of me, right 1 meter in front of me. I was like, oh, what? It was such a funny symbolical sign. I was really, really, really touched. Now, of course, you know, you look at all that and let's say, well, that's the source of my own imagination. It's just a coincidence. It's all that. But all those signs are communicating. There is another one which is really, really a funny one. I was looking at the mountains and I was really focusing on the details of the rocks and everything, and then suddenly I see this thing over there, which really looks like a symbol, and you cannot see it from here, but it's very funny. It's right in this spot over there. I tried to take some pictures, but it's in the shade, so we cannot not see it well. But what is really funny is that it looks, the whole background is black, dark gray, and then there is this V sign, which is like a pink sign. Then you have, so you have a V sign like that, and you have a kind of roof on top of this V, and then another one on underneath. And no kidding, this really looks like my logo, the Vital Coaching logo. Yeah, it's you know, sometimes you see signs like that, and maybe, you know, it's your own interpretation. It's something in your mind that perceives something that you perceive, and you take it as a message. I don't know the full thing, but I find it's quite magical. Yesterday also something else happened. Is that I was looking for a place to stay in the shade during the day, you know, a place where I can relax, and I found this rock right here. So it's a flat rock, and I thought, oh, if I make a seat here, I will be able to relax and lay back. And there was some grass growing on the rock, so I thought I'm going to maybe take a shovel, which was in the other cave there, and I started kind of trying to get the grass out, and it was resisting really hard, and I was getting emotional and, you know, frustrated and upset. And it's the first time in 10 or 15 days of trek and being in nature in here, which I have, you know, an energetic impact on nature. Before that, I haven't been influencing, breaking anything or cutting anything. I leave the grass exactly the way it is. I don't influence anything. So this was the first time that I took an aggressive action towards nature, and I could feel it while I was doing it. I thought, you know, it's not a big deal, it's just some grass, but it was an aggressive action. It was cutting, it was, you know, going for it. At the exact same time I was doing that, and I was feeling, you know, the anger, the frustration of not being able to cut this grass, right there, over there. That was the biggest avalanche that I have seen so far. And it was at the exact precise moment when I was doing that. This whole event lasted maybe 5 minutes. But over there is this huge block of ice that broke. And it was this massive avalanche coming. And it was coming my way. It's the first time, you know, there was quite a few avalanches that I've seen, but there were little things, little events. This was a massive event, massive block of ice falling, and it was creating this huge cloud of snow coming in my direction. But of course, you know, there is a wall over there, which didn't, of course, allow the snow to come further. I know that it's a safe space, but it was really symbolical because it was like as if the mountain was threatening me. It's really how it felt. It felt like a threat. It felt like an attack. It felt like the mountain was giving me a sign. Was like that, you know. Careful with what you do. That's exactly how it felt. Anyways, there have been more signs like that. Suddenly I started kind of pointing them out and realizing that it was a whole series of interactions with the nature, with the environment around me, that I feel like an intelligent communication with the forces of nature around me. And you know, you might hear that, you might think it's weird, strange, or it might make sense to you. I just put it out there. That's what is happening right here, and somehow my mind is picking them up, is looking at them, is analyzing them, and feeling something out of them. So that's it. The message for today: science for nature, science from nature. And yeah, if we take that on a larger scale, you know, we might see large events like, you know, tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes exploding, all these hurricanes hitting Florida and the Gulf of Mexico, you know, earthquakes in and tsunamis in Japan. You know, realize that an event like, for instance, the tsunami in Japan and the nuclear disaster that happened in the power station over there made quite a few countries radically shift course in their energy strategies and policies. There are lots of countries which are going right now nuclear free because of that disaster. So is this nature giving us some signs, some hints, some directions, some boundaries? Or is it just our own imagination? That's up to you to decide. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that Gaia, our planet, is a living entity, and that it's intelligent and has the power to respond to us in very effective and directive ways. So I see a big, you know, organic set of interactions going on this planet, and we get some signs as human beings. Might be good to listen to them.